Hello, this is Untitled Education. Hope you're doing amazing. Alright, we arrived to the funding part of the things. Funding is very important. Obviously, some college tuitions are really skyrocketing, but let me just tell you, don't worry, it all can be covered, even these vast amounts of money. Besides scholarships and other types of funding, we could discuss in other videos and provide you different services. These specific funding options page you see on the website refers to different types of financial aid you can find. So let's dive right in. First of all, you can try to obtain a private loan. And hey, I put here federal loan in parentheses just to point out that federal loan works only for American domestic students. And sure, it is a really nice option. It has way less, way smaller the percentage of interest. So interest rate. So these loans really good one, and if you're an American student, you might as well check out this option and apply. Otherwise, you have opportunity of private loans where there is always this problem for international students where they don't have a credit history in the United States, or they don't have somebody who can support them and co-sign loan with them, like family members, because this is quite, delicate question, but hey, don't be upset yet, don't be sad, because private loans, there are multiple organizations, not many, but still quite a few, that provide loans for international students that don't have any credit history, and they don't require you to co-sign with them, to ask anybody to co-sign with you. So ultimately, there are a few options out there, and loans are still available. And if you want to order this service, we definitely will check those and will help you to find the best option for you. Now, as for the crowdfunding, you probably might be a little, not sure how this can work for education, because predominantly crowdfunding is used for bigger projects like entrepreneurial project, business idea, maybe a campaign for a city to do some good in the city or neighborhood, some community service things, maybe public service, or literally even presidential campaign, right? But not just for somebody getting his or her personal education, right? But it's not true. There are a few websites, and not just like Kickstarter, which is mostly focused on entrepreneurial projects. There are other websites where you can post in some creative way, a gig that will allow you to obtain some money through crowdsourcing, right? You can ask people to help you to figure out why you are so unique and your path is so interesting, and what is it that you can bring value to this world, and why you need that education for this particular goal. If you explain everything in detailed way, in interesting, creative way, you might as well get some traction, you might as well get some money in little crowdfunding project, just making a few videos and statements on the websites. So that's really working. And moreover, in case if you actually go to school to obtain your MBA or bachelor's in business, anything related to business, you might as well also have an entrepreneurial project in mind, so you can point out that to build that project you first need to obtain an education, and that's the way to go. So again, there is a way for you to gain some money to obtain financial aid through crowdfunding resources, and we will work with you to make sure you will utilize all the tools. Now, employment sponsorships. Apparently these are mostly available for American students because it's easier for American employer to provide investment to pay for students' education, and then make sure that student will be a future employee and just will join the team of that specific company sponsor. But still, international students also can find such employer, and it might be not necessarily employer from the United States. It might be employer from your home country, right? And this company might sponsor you for obtaining your education overseas, to increase your qualification, to increase your skill set, to obtain more in-depth knowledge specialized in those specific aspects you have to know that are relevant to your job responsibilities, right? So very often employers are willing to pay for your education as long as you also are willing to commit to be a part of their team and to be a great and skillful employee. So that's a nice option as well. And the last but not the least, government sponsorships. Hey, you might work for the government. You might be even be in entry-level position with some governmental agency. It can be big agency, it can be small authority. It depends on your country if you're an international student, but there is a chance to obtain different, not necessarily scholarship, but sort of like governmental funding or fellowship. As an employer, as an employer sponsor, government can be as an employer, or it's just some type of governmental program where you can apply and obtain funding, go through, arrive to the United States, obtain your education, then come back to your home country. As well as, of course, the US has unlimited opportunities to figure out how you can pay for education here, and definitely United States government for American students, that's also a place to check, multiple agencies and advice, tools, coaching, actual money, investments. So government sponsorships is really important, and it's really important to check government sponsorships as an opportunity to cover your tuition and living expenses. So this is it. There are a few other things I could call out, but these are the most relevant as per other funding options, not related to scholarships and personal funds. We are glad to help you with this and glad to find the best financial tools possible to cover all your expenses so that you can become and just study and obtain your great education. Alright, then click on below and let's start.